Welcome back. 8:09 now on your Saturday. Here in Kansas City, barbecue is pretty much an art, and now our city is home to the world's first museum dedicated entirely to the food group. And that process behind making the meat, Fox 4's Carrie Wickersham is live there to give us an inside look. Carrie.
Hey, yeah, we all know that museums are for masterpieces, and there are masterpieces created right here in Kansas City with barbecue. And this is Jonathan Bender. We are standing in sort of that sauce and rub place, right? The rub. We're going to talk about the rubs. And we talked just a couple minutes ago about the smell of Kansas City barbecue. I lifted up the paprika, and I couldn't identify it just by smell.
It's so hard, right, if you can't sense it, but we wanted to give people what that actual flavor of barbecue is, right? Spice and rub is so important to building flavor and building bark, that crunchy exterior on the outside of delicious barbecue. It's also one of the ways you pair different flavor profiles with different kinds of meat. So rub and dry brining, which is where you apply salt to a tough cut of meat to make it more tender. It's sort of those foundational aspects of building barbecue.
Okay, and you're going to learn all about that here, and including one of our favorite quotes: barbecue may not be the road to world peace, but it's a start. The one and only Anthony Bourdain.
He famously visited Kansas City, and he had a chance to spend time here. He talked about Woodyard Barbecue. He actually visited there and sat down. We're going to head there next in the Wood Room, which is an iconic place in Kansas City. They have an actual wood yard, and what I love about that is you're sitting next to the wood. Wood truly gives you a sense of place, right? It's part of how we build the fire that will create flavor in barbecue.
Okay, we're going to talk more about the wood in just a second, but this is one of the first things you see when you walk in here: trial by fire. There's an argument about among people who barbecue about low and slow versus hot and fast.
Yeah, the traditional method of making barbecue is low and slow. You cook something for a long time at a low temperature, and it produces tender, delicious meat. Now, a new school of folks would tell you cook it hot and fast. Really crank up the temperature so that way you can get that great sear on an outside. And we wanted to give people an opportunity to understand the differences between both and tell us what's their favorite.
I love it. So you can vote right there. There's the wood wall that Jonathan was talking about right there to your left there. That's it. And as we walk through here, we're going to talk about smoke rings. And there's a game with that. We got about 30 seconds for you and me to make a ring.
Yeah, so the joy here, right? Wood and fire make smoke. Smoke is one of those beautiful flavors in barbecue. And so we wanted to build an actual smoke ring toss, give people an opportunity to try and get a ringer.
All right, you go first.
You got it.
This is harder than it looks.
Oh, I thought you had it. Oh, no.
Okay, one more. Almost. Oh, well, it's harder than it looks, but spend some time with the smoke ring. Smoke rings are a huge part of barbecue.
Yeah, it's how you know smoke has started to penetrate the meat. It used to be a criterion for judging barbecue, but then they realized people could cheat and manufacture smoke rings, so they no longer consider it one of the ways to decide if barbecue is good or not.
There's always a hack. I'm in for the hack, so if there's a way to cheat and make smoke rings quicker, we need to learn about that. Okay, so come on in here. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the different styles of barbecue. After you go through here, you're going to want to DIY some barbecue, and they have a retail shop for that too. But lots of fun going on here for the grand opening. They're going to have some giveaways and some special guests. It opens at 10 o'clock today. You can get your tickets online. I'm Carrie Wickersham, Fox 4 News.